So I would like the rest of you, starting with Amos,
A moose.
to describe your character for our viewers.
Alright, my character's name is Damon. And he's about, let's see, I actually have this all written down. He's about 6 foot. Young man, about 24 years old. Fairly stocky, with brown hair, green eyes. His hair is kind of longish, as if he hasn't had a very professional cut in a while. He has stubble, days growth of beard. He's dressed in splotched chainmail, or a splotched breastplate. Yeah, breastplate. And he has a very large bastard sword that he carries around with him. His clothes look travel-stained and worn, but he does not look unhealthy. He just looks as if he has less than a care about his appearance. He just throws on what feels comfortable in the morning. And that's Damon.
I am Marcus Wren. I stand about 5'10". I look somewhere between 20 to 22, and slender figure. I would say stubble on the chin would be an apt description, and he has long dark hair, and he wears traveling a robe, kind of wizardly attire. However, it's very dirty. He personally is not dirty. However, the robes are not very well kept.
I got you.
Thought that we were going to keep the same dirty look as the last one.
Nah.
I am playing Ragnar. I am human. I stand at 6'3", weighing every bit of 207, all muscles, at the age of 21. Brown hair, brown eyes, black hair, and it's actually braided kind of from 4 to 2 to 1 towards the back. He is very tan in color. He has cloth wrapped around his right arm. He is wearing studded leather armor. He has a buckler that's kind of just off on his left arm with a warhammer down on his right hip. Kind of been off on his own, not really talking to anyone.
My character is Manzarek. For those playing along, he's a gripply, and he looks like a southern leopard frog. So if you go and look up what that looks like, he's a human version of that. He has huge black eyes that have like a gold rim around them. The top of his head is green with spots all over, and then from his nose to his eyes and then down his back, what you can see, he has like a bright gold line, and then underneath that is just like brown and kind of pretty average for frog look. He is carrying a walking stick everywhere he goes, and on his side he has a scimitar. He is wearing a robe that has kind of like sewn into it, but it's like looks like he sewed into it, and so it looks like trash. A leaf that looks like it has a face on it, and then it has water dripping off of that leaf. And if you ask him about it, he becomes very proud of his little piece of artwork, but it looks like garbage. Next to him, he has his animal companion, Rayado, who is he's a velociraptor for all intents and purposes. He looks like a red-tailed hawk, and so on his belly, he is white, and then his feathers on his back and side are a dark brown, reddish color, and then it gets brighter until on his tail it's just like a brilliant, bright red. And they are always together. Rayado is like 3 feet tall, 40 pounds. Manzarek is 2 feet tall, so like the size of a toddler, 30 pounds wet. So
Soaking wet.
he is
What a happy
so small.
So, this caravan you all seem to find yourself in is heading for Drimport. Now, a couple of interesting things are happening. Excuse me, I'm getting a map.
Map.
So, as everyone can see, including those at home, see that? Great detail. Anyway,
The digital version will be released next week.
yeah.
And will continue to be released.
So
week.
you are all leaving what's called the Forgotten Keep. The Forgotten Keep is kind of the midway point. Anybody that is coming in from the ocean or is traveling from Amar will pass through the Forgotten Keep. The Forgotten Keep was incredibly interesting, being a fort from several years ago, and by several I mean like
Hundreds.
a century ago, yeah, that lay abandoned for a long while, but now has become kind of a midway point or a checkpoint for traveling caravans. The Forgotten Keep is you would leave the Forgotten Keep and you would begin to head east and then south down to Drimport. However, leaving from the kingdom of Amar, you would be traveling through the kingdom of Ambros, and then down into the kingdom of Haldren, where Drimport is located. You got that? So, something is odd, though. You have been in this caravan, some of you longer than others. I would say the one that has been in this the longest is Manzarek. Manzarek having traveled for probably a couple weeks at this point in this caravan. You've been kind of just slowly joined by other people, and other people have left. But as you are crossing into Ambrose territory, you are met by 2 guards. And this has happened maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, that you have been crossing through one kingdom and into Haldren territory. You've been greeted with these 2 guards from Haldren. They have crossed into Ambros territory to escort this caravan down south into Drimport. These guards wear the Ambros colors of blue and gold, mostly blue filled with a gold lining to them. And these guards don't look very interested in what they're doing. It's like they've been asked to do this without any real instruction, and it's as if the guard didn't have any, or the chief that gave them their instructions didn't have any real instructions. And so they show up, they're like, "We're escorting you," and you all start to ask questions, and they give you a, "I don't care. You do whatever you want. Like, I'm just traveling with you because that's what we've been told to do." So with the exception of the cavern driver, the caravan leader, and the 2 guards, there are no other mounts. The caravan driver, his name is Tamor. Tamor is a halfling who has a large mastiff dog that he rides on. Tamor also, surprisingly, has a deep, booming voice. For a halfling, it is very surprising. Tamor is bald on top, a clean-shaved head, but the tops of his feet suggest that he had kind of a hazelnut hair color at one time. He's very stern-looking and very kind of like straightforward, but he seems like a very nice guy. The other people that are in the caravan, that work for the caravan, is Valrus, a half-orc barbarian. She's a guard, and she doesn't talk to people very often. But if any of you had spent any time trying to communicate with her and like try to get information out of her, you would discover that she is shy. She's a half-orc barbarian who is shy.
Interesting combination.
She has a mohawk. The sides of her head are completely shaved. This mohawk is pulled back into braids that come down into a ponytail, longer in the back than on the top. She wears just hide armor and carries a battle axe with her. And she also seems to absolutely adore your raptor. There is Omar, who is the driver of the caravan. He is the one riding on the wagon where all the supplies have been put on. Omar is a dwarf with a thick brown beard, hair that kind of drops down over his eyes, and so he's constantly doing this number, and he loves to sing. The entire caravan trip is him singing. And if you politely ask him not to sing, he laughs and continues to sing.
Sober or drunk?
No, just drunk.
Just drunk.
So the entire trip.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, oh, is that barrel of mead being transported for any particular reason? No. That's mine.
That's mine. It rides here, shotgun.
Then there is Para and Sai, a mother and son couple that is traveling. There is Ela, Vormisa, and Kaith, followers of Freya, all female, that are traveling to a Freyan temple that's in Drimport. And Mina, a... Good? And then Mina, a cloaked figure who has... you've heard her say her name, but she gives no other real indication of like who she is or what she's doing. If you try to have conversation with her, she just says she doesn't want to talk. She's feeling tired. She cuts conversations very short. But looking at her, you think she might be a drow, but a very short one, even for a drow. But that is the caravan in total, with you gentlemen and one other person. Do 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 do
Do.
do do
Sorry.
do 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 do. Where the heck is this
Couldn't
person?
help yourself, could you?
I can't.
Sorry,
I can't.
Yes.
I hear a jingle jangle and I gotta.
Jingle jangle.
Yeah.
And then there is Kava. Kava is a cleric, or I'm sorry, Kava is an oracle and a follower of Desna. Kava has a cloak of purples and blues, and no real other weapons or magical armor that you can tell. She seems to just be a traveler. She is a gnome and only barely taller than you are. She has pointed ears, and she does have a traveler's hat with a wide brim that shades her from the sun. She has almond-colored skin, pitch black hair, and deep brown eyes. She also has a gray wolf named Luna. Luna is a puppy and absolutely loves to play with Ray, the raptor. Ray. And they are good buddies.
Rayato.
Rayato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray. He's Ray, Ray.
He's Ray. Ray.
Yeah.
The raptor. Yeah. So, in this trip, it seems that the friendliest member of the caravan has been Kava. Kava is willing to talk. Kava is willing to have conversations. She seems very sweet. And she has paid Damon to escort her into Drimport as a bodyguard, promising you how much gold?
10 gold pieces.
10 gold pieces, which seems like a lot for somebody that has very little gear. She has paid you 5 gold pieces beforehand to escort her safely there, and 5 more when she arrives. She has also seemed to taken a liking to you, Manzarek, because of your love for nature that she also shares. Where yours is more of the earth and the land, hers is more of the stars and the sky. And so she loves to talk to you about it, and the fact that your raptor and her wolf get along very, very well. It kind of is what sparked this friendship. She's been traveling with you for almost as long as you've been there, for a little over a week. And she carries with her a potted plant. This potted plant sits in a pot just about this big. And a single stalk grows from the potted plant and a large star-shaped leaf. Now, if anybody would like to, they can roll me a perception check on the plant. Anybody that's in the caravan would like to, they can roll me a perception check. Anybody that's in the caravan, you two have had your turn.
I think it's a plus.
Perception or knowledge?
Perception.
Oh, okay. I can do perception.
I believe
You
it's
can
Knowledge.
percept all day.
Nat 20.
Same.
What?
Yeah.
not
16.
We should have filmed years ago.
a total of 9.
Nice. You haven't seen it.
Yep.
But you, and especially you two, I would imagine just in the middle of the night, y'all were like, yeah, there it is. And just like, that was it. It was like, she's asleep. And you're like, have noticed, and because of the Nat 20, I'll give you some information about what it is. On the bottom of the leaf, there is a single round orb, about the size of the head of a pin, on the bottom of the leaf. With your Nat 20s, you would recognize that as an insect egg of some kind. If anybody would like to roll me Knowledge Nature, I can tell you specifically
Does
what's
it have to
happening.
only be those two?
You know it's there too, yeah, you've seen it.
10.
Nat
Or
20.
19. You're going to tell us what
My
it is.
group is cheating. They're cheating.
saw it.
He rolled a 4, got an 87. He made a giant friend named Bob, and they've all got Nat 20s.
No.
I'm a failure.
Oh, I'm a failure.
Or you're a Corbin?
Get a mushroom.
No. Do not tell Bob I'm a Corvin or Corbin.
Corbin. Don't tell him I'm a crow.
So Samson Swanson.
Name's on the briefcase.
Oh.
Samsonite, that was way off.
No.
20.
Samsonite.
Another 90s reference?
Yeah, I think like the brand of the
Right.
luggage.
Luggage,
I
yeah.
I just got it.
That's always been the joke.
I know, but just imagine like a tag and a name on it.
I had never put. I had never put that together.
Yeah,
It was a
that's
brand
the
name.
joke!
I thought it was her last name. I never really paid attention.
No! Because that would make sense! You saw it here first, folks. With a Nat 20. You would know this insect egg as a moth egg. A single moth egg on the bottom of the leaf.
Okay, I'm going to do everything I can to not eat it. We're gonna move on with our lives.
Caviar. Ripley caviar.
I look at it and I'm like,
She would be so offended.
a previous life has eaten a lot of you.
So you find yourself on this caravan, traveling through and into the Haldren? I named it. I know what it is. Yeah, Haldren. I knew it. Into Haldren territory. The guards accompanying you and the caravan going about its day, as the woods are filled with the song of Omar the dwarf drunkenly singing out, and the sound of birds chirping, wind rustling, and the wagon creaking. What would you all like to do during this time, if anything?
From up your ambiance.
Mamambabants?
Nope, not that.
Mana. I'm so proud of you all.
I'm so ashamed of you all.
That was the jingle jangle.
By the way, the wagon is being pulled not by a horse, but by an ox. Despite any sounds you hear over the ambiance.
I might approach my Gripply friend here. Pardon me.
Yes.
Where is this caravan actually going? I've only just recently joined. I'm not familiar with the local area.
How long have you actually been on? I'm not talking. I'm just,
Realistically, I think I wandered in here probably like from the tree line probably like a week ago or something like that.
A homeless man just joined his
so
group.
you've been on this for like a week,
Maybe, yeah.
and you don't know.
I've been
You've been on this for a
quietly
week
keeping
and
to
you don't
myself.
know where we're going.
I haven't the faintest now.
That is a very dangerous behavior, my friend.
We're
been
going
a-
to Drimport, Kava says.
Thank you. Drimport.
Is that a problem? She says, confused.
I don't think I've ever been there before.
She says, neither have I. It's going to be a new experience for both of us. Roll me a sense motive check.
I got a total of 7.
Okay.
Not very socially adept.
I'm laid down in the back of one of the carts.
The
My
only
hood-
card.
The only cart. With my hood kind of pulled down, kind of dozing. But when that question comes up, I kind of look over and says, "Don't get terribly excited. It's a bit of a disappointment." Pull my hood back down.
Is there a place to get a bath? Maybe wash my rags.
Omar just kind of chimes in. He goes, "Yeah, 'cause you need it." He's not one to talk.
Thank you very much.
I'm still like, you've been walking with us for a week and you don't know where we're going.
I've literally not
Like-
really approached anybody in that week.
I start talking to Rayado, and he clearly is just whatever. And I'm like, he doesn't know where we're going, and he's been walking with us for a week. And Rayado is just yeah, and I go back to trying to get.
Would you say there were a total of 8 or 9 people in this caravan?
Something like that.
Yeah, I would assume that somebody probably did approach, at which I would have given them a name, but then I would have spoken very little to none after that.
I go back to trying to teach Rayado how to come when called, and he just doesn't do it. It's just this huge problem of me being
Run me a handle animal.
Watch, he rolls an ad 20. He's like, except for this one time.
Animal.
Handable?
22.
Except for this one time.
It's going to happen.
Just wait till we start. It's not
It's
The
going to be a
universe is
train
gonna
wreck
come back
here in
in
a little
on
bit.
us.
yeah.
It's okay.
So he's wrestling with Luna, right? Kind of jumping back, and you see his feathers it plume out as he begins making this chortle noise with his head low to the ground, kind of in a mock attack, right? Luna's mimicking the same motions with her paws flat on the ground, her jaw on the ground, and her tail up in the air wagging happily. As you call, Rayado spins and runs directly to you, his claws out to either side and doing that kind of wide gait as he gets to you. He slides to a stop and he just immediately chomps onto your leg, just and a play bite onto your leg.
This is fine. It's fine. At least he came this time.
Luna tackles him and the two.
Is he still blown away?
Oh yeah, no, he took you with him.
Okay, yeah.
He took part of you with him. No, he didn't injure you, but it was a play bite. Have you ever had a puppy bite you with those new sharp teeth? It's very much like that. As they hit and begin to roll on the ground. Kava says, I'm very happy Luna found a friend.
Rayado needs some socialization. He is very clearly way more social than I am, than Manzarek is, Rayado is. And so, Manzarek saying that it's just okay, everybody that's even spent any amount of time with him is okay, he's the one that needs socialization. So
I got you.
I'm keeping it to myself.
Okay, that's fair. The caravan begins heading towards what looks like a line of trees. It's not dense. It looks like maybe they had been harvested at some point, and a lot of them, a handful of them, had been left intentionally, and it seems like the forest is growing back. So you do see a handful of older trees that tower up, but most of the trees look to be maybe a decade old or a decade and a half old. As you begin heading into this, you do see also off to the west, or I'm sorry, the east, off to the west, an outcropping of rock. These rocks feed into a rolling hill, and you see that they are accompanied with ridges and overhangs and things like that. As you begin to head towards that, you all hear, as the sky begins to darken, and you see clouds begin to roll in from the north. Tamor looks up from his mastiff, right? He says, "Whoa, Kane, whoa!" As he looks up at it all, he says, "We need to find shelter. It's going to rain soon." Gosh, I'm handsome. I didn't mean to sound like a superhero, but I am.
I really am.
Omar continues to sing, and Varus continues to be quiet. What are the rest of you?
I sit up, kind of shake off the sleep, and hop out of the wagon and say, all right, I'll see what I can find. Because I'm only dozing. I'm paying attention. What's the area around us like as far as...
It seems like there are large trees, like a small outcropping of trees, but it looks like it was harvested at some point.
No, like hills.
A rolling hill that gives
areas.
into an outcropping of rock.
Okay. So I'm going to...
That's one for the paying attention counter.
That's not the question I was asking.
Is that? I don't know if that's truly.
Anywho.
Close, but not so good.
I'll allow it.
So
Are we not?
we're going to vote on these?
No,
Oh,
I'm the GM.
Alright, so I'm going to investigate the outer area to see if I can find us
You may do that.
a place of shelter. Yep. Oh boy.
Is your perception on point?
Not 20.
No, yes.
Ha!
There's a 2 involved.
A 3?
Yeah. 3 for the search.
Have
Let's try survival.
here beside you.
I'll
There's a
allow
storm
it.
brewing.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Let's get a roll on
It's going to be
that.
worse than a straight roll. That's a 3!
It wasn't worse.
So you walk in the middle of the caravan on the road and you go, looking at things that have already been looked at and not ahead of anyone.
Still searching. That's what
I'll take a look
Let's
around
see
for
the
nearby
caravan.
shelter with a
Caravan.
survival check
Flips
myself.
upside down, becomes a great tent.
I only get a 6. I'm no better than him.
Also take a look with a 17.
There it is.
Leave it to the nature guy.
Monkeys and typewriters.
As you begin you hop ahead of everybody, figuratively. You
And literally.
scan the area, and you do see just kind of off in the distance, the hill rolls up and then kind of plateaus before it meets another large outcropping of stone. And you see one of these rocks jets up at a 45 and creates what looks to be a very dry overhang. The area beneath it is constantly shaded, giving it no vegetation.
Is it like
for
Pride
very little.
Rock?
Not quite so cinematic.
Sorry.
But yeah. But just very few stones, loose soil, and it looks like it has never rained or had any real vegetation growing under it. So.
Okay. I start walking back to the party, and I tell Kava first about the location, and then I begin sharing that information with everybody else. I keep looking over at Riato, and every time there's ever lightning strike or anything like that, I'm like, it's a gift. It's a gift from the gods.
You see Luna's cowering under the wagon, as it's going, and she's just kind of keeping away from the storm. And Rayato, as you're like, it's a gift from the gods, he's trying to get to Luna under the wagon to play with her.
Did you say it was Luna that was underneath the... Okay.
Dogs are always afraid of the thunder.
I look over at Luna, and I look at Kava, and I'm like, it's a gift from the gods. This weather, this rain is a gift.
She smiles. She says, I agree. She says, I think...
Luna does not.
She says, I think Desna's happy that we're doing this. She says, besides, as she walks up next to you, right, she says Desna loves nature and she gets along with it, and so she is using it to show her appreciation.
And Zary just kind of blinks, and he's like, yes, it is a gift. It is a gift from the gods.
Not necessarily
I
Desna.
had one line to say and said it.
It's more than yours.
You begin heading towards this outcrop, and you kind of gather underneath it as the rain begins to come down. Tamor just kind of like rides his dog around and is making sure everybody's okay and everybody's together. He's keeping count, and he does this. Is there anything I can get you? Are you fine? Are you comfortable? Do you feel well protected? My job is done. And he just rides off.
He just answers all the questions
Yeah.
as he asks them.
So I could have...
Okay, that's cool.
As I'm walking by, back by the wagon, I kind of look under at Luna. Let me know if I need to roll for this, but I kind of open my cloak, says, "Come on, I'll hold you."
Handle animal. Okay.
A level. Trained skill.
So I need to rank in it. What if it's a
Well,
class
you can
skill?
roll it up to 10.
What if it's a class skill?
Oh, it's your class, you have it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You have a rank in it?
No.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
Okay. Then it's just straight roll.
You can roll up to 10.
Damn.
There's a 20 on every die.
It's an
Just
8.
not his.
I rolled an 18.
Oh! But it's a 10. She like starts to come out from under the wagon, and then thunder strikes again. I got you, dog. And she backs back under the wagon and begins to cower.
Well, alright, just stay there, I guess.
You tried. You tried.
I walk back and hop into the wagon.
To clarify, we have stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody's kind of bedding down to camp for the night until the storm passes.
So we're under that rock, though.
Yes.
Okay.
So everybody is
going
going.
to the rock. I stay in the rain.
Because he's amphibian.
Rayato can go under the rock, but I am staying in the rain.
Amphibious. That means he can use both hands.
Yeah.
Exactly what that means.
Amphibious.
Amphibious.
Amphibian.
That's that Disney show, right? So, the sky darkens and the rain begins to wash in sheets, and you are just so drenched.
I'm loving it.
Rayato is just kind of standing under the overhang, but he's watching you. He's doing that thing like a puppy would do, where it doesn't want to go very far, but it's also like, no, I'm not going out there, you know.
It's raining out there.
Yeah, that's nonsense. As you're standing there with the rain coming down, Kava walks out to you, and she just stands in the rain with you, and it just begins to soak her hair and her cloak as she just kind of watches it rain.
Gozer is good.
She says, Gozer is good.
Yes, then it's good. Kind of just like, I'll be respectful.
This is the closest I can get to respecting your religion.
Yes, Desnadora too.
She says, Manzer, can I ask you some personal questions? Manzeric, excuse me.
He kind of just like looks at her and he's like, like, I don't know if I'm going to answer these questions that are coming my way, but we'll see.
Do you think you'll find what you're looking for in Trimport?
I kind of like looked down at my feet and was like, I really, really hope so.
Could you do me a favor, Manzeric? If something happens, could you take care of the plant? I know that's such a weird request. It's just that you're so in tune with nature, and I wouldn't trust anyone else to take care of it.
What is the meaning behind this plant to you?
She says, the butterfly is Desna's holy symbol. I took one of those eggs from my order. It's special. It's not just any butterfly. And there would be a lot of people that would be interested to have it. And it would sell for a lot of money once it hatches. I just feel like you would respect it more than that.
The guy who would eat it.
Kind of like, I will watch it.
that motive?
That's an 11.
11s.
It seems like there's more she wants to say, but she doesn't.
What language is she speaking right now?
Common.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
She says, I also wanted to thank you for just being my friend.
You are good. Luna is good.
She smiles. I know you'll find what you're looking for. Roll me another sense motive.
That one's a 17.
With a 17, she says that with a surety. Not like, I know you can do it, kind of upbeat. It's like she knows that you'll find what you're looking for.
But does she?
Does that, since she's like so sure, and I am so not, that makes me kind of nervous. And like, cause
Did you ever tell her what you were looking for?
I probably would have told her. I would not have told anybody else though at this point. So, I'm just kind of like nod, and I wear my emotions on my face, and so it's like obviously like that's weird, but I'm gonna accept it.
Goodbye, Manzer.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Stay dry.
She looks up at the sky.
Go get dry.
It's not every day you get to enjoy such a calm storm. As she walks off.
I go back to just being like,
What are you doing, Amos? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sleeping back on the back of the wagon.
So you just fell asleep whenever you was on the wagon?
Yeah.
There's no need for him to do anything.
So I guess I'll walk up to Max after she leaves. Man's there.
how tall are you again?
6'3".
So I'm like at your kneecap.
Yeah.
Like,
So I
Found a
actually,
frog! Put me down!
please don't touch me.
I do come out there and I do take a knee, and I just look at you and I'm like, I've been wrapping my head around how long I have been here on this caravan. Do you recall when I joined it?
Like 3 days ago, man. And Zarek's weird little froggy arm touches you and is like, are you okay?
Don't recall anything for the last week.
You need help. I cannot provide. Pray to Gozer. He is good. Weather is good.
I love
Thanks.
this frog.
And I'll walk back to where it's not wet.
Gozer will help him. Oh man, I hope Gozer helps him.
I'll sit up against the rock and I guess nap.
As soon as he said, keep dry, I was like, is that an insult?
I mean, I wasn't thinking of it as an insult, but it could be. So anytime, like, I'm talking to myself or I'm talking to Riado, I am speaking in Gripply. And so it's just weird frog noises.
Damon, as you're kind of dozing off in the back of the wagon, everybody's getting ready to kind of just bed down. You know, they're either talking, conversating, and so there's this low murmur that is overshadowed by the sound of the rain. So it's good gray.
Very lulling, yeah.
Yeah, very very good white noise. You feel a gentle and small hand kind of nudge your shoulder.
Like, kind of jerk, pull my hood back again, look up.
You see Kava standing at the foot of the wagon.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't mean to
yes.
wake you.
No, it's it's okay. What's up?
I wanted to thank you for escorting me this far.
You're paying.
Right, she says. I just wanted to let you know that I might have not been very honest with you. I don't have 10 gold. The 5 gold was all I had.
Appropriate thunder.
I see.
She says, however, I do have this. She pulls out a silver pendant of Desna. That silver pendant, you know would be worth a handful of gold. Whether it was 5 or more, you're not sure without an appraisal check. But it's, 1, it's silver, and 2, because of its intricate design. She says, but I can give you this.
That's your holy symbol, isn't it?
She says, yeah, but I'm not a cleric, so I don't really need it.
Look, 10 gold is probably more than I ever imagined. 1 gold is definitely not enough. Just keep your silver. 5 gold will be plenty. Yeah. It's okay. Just don't even worry about it.
She reaches up and gently takes you by the wrist. She's not forcing, but she gently takes you. She says, then consider it a gift, as she pushes it into your hand. Damon, I know you're a good person, and I know you'll make the right choice.
I can't make eye contact with her at this point because it's just, I can't do it. Sure. Thanks.
She walks away.
I look at it, and turn it around. Is it like anything I've ever seen before?
You've seen the holy symbol of Desna. It's just that butterfly. This one has small blue gemstones in them. They may be colored glass. Without an appraisal check, you're not entirely certain.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an appraisal check.
Do you have appraisal?
It's not
It isn't
great.
a trained. Anyone can do that.
Is it a 3?
6 total.
Again.
I know.
Yeah. You're not even certain it's real silver.
You're killing me.
You're not even certain it's real silver.
You may want to get new dice, my guy.
Gracious.
He rolled a 1 with it.
Oh.
Get the bad juju off of it.
Eli dice would never
That
betray
wasn't
me.
me.
know, right?
I promise you.
It's not my juju.
Bob is
I
a
just-
friendly giant.
I just kind of sigh and I tuck it into my small bag, my small satchel, and kind of groan, thinking about what I won't be able to get, replenish my supplies, and go back to sleep.
The night kind of begins to drag on, and you all bed down for the evening and doze off. Marcus, you wake in the middle of the night to the sound of more thunder.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, weird, huh?
Oh, you hit the button. I thought it was just random.
Just wait till she reveals something. It gets epic.
The thunder, you think at first the thunder is what woke you, but you quickly realize that it is not. You realize as you look around that the caravan is completely asleep. It is night and it's still raining. But there is one other creature in the caravan that is awake. You see the thing sitting and looking out at the group. Why don't you describe for our viewers what this thing is?
It stands somewhere from, well, right now I assume it would be almost like hunched over or something, but I don't know. But if it were to stand upright, it's about 6'5", 7 feet tall. It's got 2 long arms, much longer than they should be. They're not proportional to the torso, with ending in claws. It has no hair on its body whatsoever. No discernible features on the face other than 2 slits for nostrils, and it's pale, gaunt, like white skin, and it's slender.
Did you just describe Slender Man?
No, well, Slender Man wears a tux. Does Slender Man have slits on his face? Is that where I got that
naked
from?
Slender Man. I don't know. You might.
I
No,
don't-
his face is just completely blank, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got a nose.
That's still very scary, what you just described.
This thing is crouching, and it's regarding the group with a sense of curiosity, and it's an expressionless face. But over the time that you've spent with it, you can almost feel what it's feeling, almost sense what it's thinking, and something has it interested.
What's it looking at?
It reaches forward with its long, gangly arms, its hands spread wide, nearly touching the sleeping, the sleeping travelers, but missing them like a cat moving through an obstacle course. As it just shifts, its shoulders are exaggerated as they roll. The rope-like muscle structure and its protruding bones are very visible through its taut flesh. As it begins to crawl through the crowd and it finds its way over to Ragnar. It stands over Ragnar and crouches like some kind of predatory animal as it watches him sleep.
I tried to mentally force it to stop and back up.
It does not. And by the way, it's made a distance from you to Ragnar of about 30 feet. It begins to lean
I attempt to
down.
banish it.
Nothing happens. Do you stand
I-
or you
Yes, at this point I would be standing, attempting to banish it.
do you stay your 30 feet of distance?
At least on the banish attempt, yeah. I don't have to be within 30 feet if it, yeah.
You
You say that doesn't work though?
You desperately tried to banish this thing, and it seems to pay you no mind. It's as if you've lost all control of this creature. As it begins to lean in inches away from Ragnar's face.
I shout for him to wake up, for the creature to back up. I'm screaming at it as I run towards it now.
Ragnar, you have awoken to the sound of screaming. As you see Marcus charging towards you with his hands out, and he slides to a stop as you realize that there's nothing there. You see the caravan kind of like stirs and they begin to look around. Is everything all right? Tamor says.
Yeah, I thought I saw something. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle anyone. That was.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you sound like a female when you scream.
I have my sword out, and I'm like, what was it?
Just maybe
Please,
night terrors. I don't know.
enlighten us.
It's just I
looking
saw
out-
something.
I'm looking out into the darkness.
I must.
Obviously, I don't see anything except darkness.
I must be mistaken. Sorry. As I attempt to retreat back into whatever corner I was previously nestled up into.
I come in to the overhang, and I try to get Ray Otto to stand over him and watch him while he sleeps and protect him.
I kind of catch Kava's eye, and I'm like,
Okay. Crazy guy.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Probably not with a handle animal. Yeah, no, 11.
So you're doing that thing where you're like,
You.
guard, and he's just looking right at you.
Throw the ball. Throw the ball.
chasing shadows.
Where you're like, attack, and he's just like,
I go back outside.
into the rain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've been sleeping out there the whole time.
Just out in the rain.
As you begin to step back into the rain, I would like everyone who is awake to roll me a perception check.
Damn. That would be
consider where we are at in the wild, in the wilderness? Okay.
Yeah, a total of 15.
12.
30.
What?
You might not be able
Not
to
that it
hide.
matters.
I might not be able to hide from you. Well, maybe.
Yeah, no, that was
Not in the woods, you won't.
Not in the woods.
You are under this rock. With a 30, as you begin to walk back outside, the first thing you notice is that Kava did not wake up to that, to the scream and everything. She is still laying in her spot, and you see Luna is walking circles around her over and over.
I walk over to her and I like check her pulse real quick.
As you reach down and touch her, she is very cold to the touch. And Luna begins to panic, kind of putting her head between your hand and Kava's neck. With your 30 perception check, I will also give you this. Mina is no longer in the caravan. The cloaked figure.
Oh, that.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do a heal check real quick. See if I can find like any injuries that have caused this. It's a 22.
With a 22, as you begin checking over her, you see this substance. It's like a light blue is inside of her ear.
Knowledge nature?
You may.
8.
You can't identify what it is, not just from the residue of what is.
Lick it.
I'm not doing that. It is not an insect.
Might be.
Oh, she has blue earwax.
I start calling to everybody like, I need help. I don't know what to do right now. I need help.
Omar says, "Is this another cry for help that means nothing?"
Omar, get your ass over here. I need
I was
help.
gonna say, I think I would dash over in a panic too.
I need help. I need help. She's not waking up.
Tamor says, "Cane to me!" As the dog runs over to him, and he like side saddle jumps on him and runs over and jumps off. He says, "What's the matter?"
Feel her, touch her.
He's like, "Okay," and then he looks down, and you see the realization washes over his face, and he says, "What has happened here?"
She didn't wake up. She's just cold. Where's Mina?
Everybody begins to kind of panic and stir. As all of this is going on, the rain begins to kind of die down, and you see the first rays of light begin to illuminate and fill the area.
I'm just gonna make a perception check to see if there's anything that's like trying to sneak around or look in from out of this group.
You may.
That one.
Woo! Our first Nat 1 description.
So I'm going to say you kind of like take a couple steps away from everything that's going on, right? And you begin looking around. This gentleman steps up next to you. He's wearing a ragged shirt. He has a scar down one side of his face. He's carrying a rapier at his side. He steps up next to you and he says, "What are you looking for?"
I don't know.
"Do you feel like something's off?"
Yeah.
I get that feeling sometimes too. As maybe a half dozen more of these gentlemen start to come out from the woods around you.
Oh no.
Oh. I see your 2 aces and I raise you 1,000.
As these people begin to slowly converge out of the woods, the group is in a panic. Nobody has their weapons drawn. People are still stripped of their armor and everything. As they start to kind of try to figure out what happened to Kava, they start talking amongst themselves. They're like, "What do you mean you weren't standing guard? I didn't think we had to stand guard." They look towards the 2 actual guards. The guards are like, "Whoa, we're only here to escort you. We're not here to protect." And everyone turns as these people begin to appear around the overhang.
I was really hoping they were just a figment of his imagination.
I thought.
My hand is on
I'm not
my
crazy,
sword,
you're
but
crazy.
I do not draw it.
You draw your sword, and they don't.
No. My hand is on my sword, but I don't
but
draw
you don't
it.
draw
I don't.
Specifically,
Specifically, do not draw it.
Dude.
So just
Yeah.
subtract one of those points from earlier.
As you see maybe a dozen people begin to converge out, all of them looking of ill repute and very confident, as they seem to have caught you all unaware. And they are right there at the mouth of this overhang. As this is going on, you see a gentleman, and I say gentleman because he is dressed in a black and red suit. He looks pristine, not his entire visage is dry despite it having had just rain. No mud on his shoes, his slicked back black hair intact, and he is impeccably groomed, well shaven, with a very annoyed expression on his face as he steps up and regards all of you. And you see stepping out from beside him is a kobold. Electric blue, standing about 4 feet tall. This kobold is wielding a dagger with leather armor. He looks at all of you with a sinister grin on his face. Ha! Yes! We have surrounded you! This is an ambush! The gentleman in the suit says, "It's not a very effective ambush if you announce that it's an ambush." He says, "Silence! We got them right where we want them!" He says as he looks at all of you. "Now, no one here has to get hurt. Hand us your gold and we'll be on our way." One of the guys turns and looks and says, "But you say we was gonna kill them." "No! I said we might kill them!" "You said probably. Probably kill them!"
Probably might kill them.
Probably kill them. As he points the dagger at all of you, the dagger being about that long. What are you laughing at?
You think you can kill us?
Of course! I've got you surprised!
Well, of
and
course.
almost outnumbered!
Are there any
Yeah,
ranged
it's-
weapons in this group?
Of his group?
Yeah.
Yes, there are 2 men with crossbows. And they are all either holding their weapons to the side or ready to use them.
Of course, you see a group of nobodies.
Yeah?
So
2
how
guards
much-
who obviously don't know what they're doing as I look over at them.
They have their hands on the pommel of their sword. They look at you like,
And
Why are you calling us out, bro?
and other peasants. Of course you can take them.
"Yes! We have permission for this gentleman."
But
How much-
do you?
Have permission?
Yes.
I'm confused. He said, "Wait, we don't need permission." The gentleman in the suit says, "Now you're catching on." He says, "We, as bandits, are going to take anything." The air disperses suddenly as you see this child about, you said 9, appear in the air and drop into the mud at the foot of this kobold. The kobold jumps in surprise as he looks down and looks up and he goes, "From nothing I have manifested life!"
I would use that distraction to immediately rush one of the rangers.
All right. So, as you get ready to rush the ranger, right, the kobold in a panic looks down at you. Before you can really register what's going on, he grabs you by your shirt, takes the dagger, and he says, "No, you stand!" He screams in pain as he pulls back, and you see a ferret biting onto his finger and just going to town. He screams and starts to fling this weasel from side to side, and I will need the group to roll initiative next time. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.